Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BC, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, a great fight just got made, and it got added to that big April 7th card that I'm really excited for. That'll be headlined by Hurd and Lara. It was announced recently that Julian Willams, Julian Willams will be fighting Chicago prospect and very quickly rising, I don't want to say star, but top prospect in the 154-pound division, a guy that has a chance to be a world champion, Nathaniel Gallimore. If you guys don't know Nathaniel Gallimore, a really good fighter. He used to train out of I'm not sure. I'm a bit confused. I don't know if he went to California with Joshua Greer, but I do know that he trained with George Hernandez in Chicago at that Garfield Park boxing gym, which is where Adrian Granado's Eddie Ramirez trained. So I'm not sure if Nathaniel is still there at that gym. I might need confirmation on that, but still gonna be a good fight. A good fight in the 154-pound division because these are two guys, in Julian Willams and Nathaniel Gallimore, who, for one, I think are both very talented. I enjoy watching both of them fight. I thought before Julian Willams got knocked out by Jamal Charlo, if you guys go back, that was one of the first live streams I did on this channel. Julian Willams before the knockout, the last couple rounds before that knockout, I thought he was beginning to have success against Charlo. And ever since that Charlo loss, he's picked up some decent wins. He fought Joshua Conley, got a TKO win, and then he fought Ishe Situ, unanimous decision, and beat him in Las Vegas. So now that that's happened, it's a step-up fight in terms of his first real fight since he lost to Jamal Charlo. We're going to see what Julian Williams is all about, He's someone that people were high on a couple years ago, hasn't been as high on him since the loss to Charlo, so it's going to be a good proving ground for him, And in terms of Gallimore, Gallimore has had an interesting career because he's been someone that, he's had some controversial things happen to him, as a lot of guys. And it seems like everybody that has fought at that gym in Chicago has had some controversy, from Granados with his fights to Joshua Greer to Eddie Ramirez, the controversy to Marco Stoppage. Everybody in that gym seems to have sort of controversy, but he's risen above the controversy. His most notable win on his resume came in July of last year. He fought Justin Deloach, who was a good prospect. Justin Deloach was trained by Paul Williams, and Justin Deloach picking up some really, really good wins on the way up. He seemed to be on the fast track to success in the division. Justin Deloach had beat a couple decent prospects. Like, he beat the likes of Dylan Cook, who was undefeated at the time. Fought Dominic Dalton, who was undefeated at the time, who was a decent little fighter. So, gonna be a good fight. Gallimore can punch. Julian Williams is more of a boxer than he is a puncher, but he has a bit of thump as well. So, with that being said, I'm looking forward to seeing if Gallimore can get Julian Williams out of there. He's proven in some of his fights to be a tad bit shitty. He definitely, I would say, has he's the bigger puncher. They're relatively the same in height and reach, and it's a big fight for the 154-pound division because the winner of this fight will more than likely get a shot at the IBF title and fight the winner of Lara versus Hurd. Now, because the rankings, basically, Gallimore is rated 4th, and then Julian Williams is rated 5th. So basically, whoever wins this fight will probably win up into that mandatory position, which is going to be big for the division. And I think either one of those guys, particularly Gallimore, I think Gallimore is a bit underrated. He's someone I haven't really talked about on this channel because maybe I overlooked him, but I have to talk about him now because this is a big fight, and I've been knowing about Nathaniel Gallimore for a couple years now, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in a big fight against a notable opponent, someone in Julian Williams who lost a big fight with Charlo, who was looked at to be the next big thing in the 154-pound division, and ultimately, since that fight, that has been the case. So we'll definitely see what happens. If you go back and you look at the resume, if you really dig into the resume of Julian Williams, and look for notable names, he fought the very tough and very game Deshaun Johnson, who Jesse Hart also fought. It seems like Deshaun Johnson has fought everybody from 154 to 168, but Jesse Hart fought Deshaun Johnson at 168 and nearly got stopped by Deshaun Johnson. And Deshaun Johnson also beat Peter Quillen a good fight last year. And a lot of people thought Deshaun Johnson beat Peter Quillen last year. So there was that fight. He beat Joaquin Alcine, who was another guy, kind of a gatekeeper type of opponent that a lot of guys beat. He beat him. Hugo Centeno Jr. was a no contest. And he beat H.T. Smith. So he's been a guy in his career that he's had some bright spots, but he just showed a lot of inconsistency. So if you're a guy like Nathaniel Gallimore, then this is a fight where you want to announce yourself to the world. And I don't want to put a stain on anybody. I don't want to wish bad on anybody's career, but we got to say how it is here on True School Sports. If Julian Williams loses this fight and he gets knocked out, which is very possible because Nathaniel Gallimore is a dangerous fighter who can punch. This is a fight where it could be a real, I don't want to say nail in the coffin for Julian Williams' career, but it could kind of be the proverbial nail in the coffin in terms of him at that top level, because this is kind of one of those, kind of what Amir Imam had in his last fight against Jose Ramirez. That was a fight where he needed to win so he could still have some sort of negotiating power in the division, and that was his chance to get it right, and he didn't get it right. So now when he was 147, he's going to have to earn everything he gets moving forward. And it's the same thing with Julian Williams. He needs to win this fight so he can, whenever he does negotiate the bigger fights, he can be in a position of power, because if not, he's going to have to work his way back up, and he might be frozen out of his career. He might be put in real tough, and it's just a fight he can't afford to lose. He can ill afford to lose this fight. So it's a really good crossroads matchup between two highly ranked fighters in the division, two very talented fighters in the division. And if I had to make a pick of the fight, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm favoring Nathaniel Gallimore just a little more than Julian Williams. I just think Julian, a little chinny. He's shown the tendency to fight down his level of opposition at times, and I just think Nathaniel Gallimore is hungry to prove that he's one of the better 154-pounders in the world, and I think he will do that on the night. But we'll see what happens. Should be a good fight. Let me know what you guys think. Julian Williams, Nathaniel Gallimore, IBF Eliminator fight on the undercard of Jarrett Hurd. Lara also on that card is the rematch to James DeGale and Kilo Truex, so stay tuned. I'll be on the lookout for that as well. So let me know what you guys think about this fight, Julian Williams and Nathaniel Gallimore. Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kidding, dang it. So until next time, take care, guys.